The tension between divine sovereignty and human responsibility. Hello, everyone. Let me start with a challenging question. How do we reconcile God's absolute sovereignty with our human responsibility, especially in evangelism? The Bible is so clear. God is sovereign of all things, including salvation. Yet He also commands us to preach the gospel to all nations. If God is sovereign and has already ordained the outcome, does our effort matter? If responsibility lies with us, does that undermine God's authority and power? Spurgeon once said that salvation is of the Lord alone, but he also emphasized human responsibility, saying, the responsibility for the souls of men is laid upon us. How can both of these truths be true? Reconciling sovereignty and responsibility. Spurgeon provides a profound solution to this tension with the principle of instrumentality. He taught that in his infinite wisdom, God choose human beings as instruments to accomplish his will. God has chosen in his wisdom to use instrument for his purpose. Our responsibility to evangelize doesn't undermine God's sovereignty. It fulfills it. Consider the image of a blacksmith shaping the metals with a hammer. The hammer doesn't claim credit for the work. It simply serves its purpose in the hands of the masters. Likewise, we are tools in God's hands, called to carry out his mission. By recognizing this, we avoid the pride in our efforts. We humbly trust in God's power. Christian is not his own master. He is the servant of Christ. This humble attitude allows us to trust that it is God's power, not our own, that brings the results. This balanced perspective resolves the tension between sovereignty and responsibility. It allows us to work diligently, trust that it's ultimately God who produced the outcome. Spurgeon beautifully expressed that instrumentality is a very honorable to God and not dishonorable. Our participation is meaningful, not because of our abilities, but because God chose us as his instrument. Thus, our human responsibility becomes part of divine plan, an honored role in God's sovereign will. Conclusion. Reflecting on Spurgeon's teaching, I can see evangelism as a privilege, a responsibility. Evangelism is not about choosing between sovereignty and responsibility. It is about embracing both. God's sovereignty works through our faithful efforts, for we are co-workers with God. This transforms evangelism from a duty to inner joy. Let us move forward as faithful instruments, trusting in the God who saves and fulfilling our call to spread the gospel to all nations. Thank you for listening.